Alright, I'm going to be changing the oil today on the 96 Ford Thunderbird. It has the 4.6 liter engine, the V-8. And the first thing you want to do is lift the car up high enough off the ground. Make sure you have some jack stands under the frame. Okay, to change the oil on a Thunderbird, you're going to need a 16mm wrench for the drain plug. And this car, the oil filter is really difficult to get at. It's mounted sideways up, high up in the vehicle. There's a lot of things in the way, so you'll need a cap style oil filter wrench, a couple extensions with a universal joint on it. Okay, to get the oil filter off, what you're going to need to do is get your cap style oil filter wrench onto the oil filter. Then you're going to need to take your extension, socket extension, and it's going to go through this area here. That's why you need that universal joint on there. And then you're going to put it into the oil filter cap. Okay, I'm just going to give you a view of where that oil filter is on a 4.6 liter 96 Ford Thunderbird. This is the oil pan right here. You can see the engine fan, and right over here, you have to get past that sway bar. You can see the oil filter is mounted sideways. And what you want to do is get your some light up in here. What you want to do is get your oil filter wrench and kind of maneuver it in there and get it onto the oil filter as best you can. Okay, got that on there pretty square. Then what you need to do is take your socket extension, and you're going to need to go through this hole right here and put that into the oil filter wrench. The way the oil filter is positioned sideways on the engine, you're going to need to put down some cardboard or something to absorb some oil, because it'll definitely get some leaks. What'll happen is the oil is going to run down to this support here and it's going to drip out here. So you need some cardboard under there. Make sure you get your pan positioned under there, and cardboard will catch any drips. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Just, loosen your drain plug, drain your oil. The hardest part is getting that filter off. Okay, you've got the oil filter loosened and off the engine. Now what you need to do is maneuver right through this area here by the sway bar and pass this power steering hose and get it out of there. As you can see, it gets pretty messy. All the oil just drips down this support here. So you have to position your pan the right way and make sure you have some cardboard down to catch the drips. Okay, something you always want to look for whenever you're changing oil is to make sure this gasket doesn't stick to the engine, and to make sure the new one doesn't stick. You can take a little oil and just rub it on the seal. Reinstall the new one. Okay, then all you have to do, once you got your oil all drained and your filter off and your new filter on, just to fill up your oil. I like to use a nice long funnel like this, and it'll take about 4.5 to 5 quarts. Once I have the oil filled, I like to start the engine, make sure there's some oil pressure, and I'll look underneath the car and make sure there's no leaks. Check the oil filter, check the drain plug, and I'll drop it off the take the car down from the jack stands, make sure it's nice and level, and I'll check the oil level at that time and top it up if I need to. When you're done changing the oil, checking the level, some other things you might want to do just as basic maintenance to check your fan belt, make sure there's no cracks, make sure it's tensioned properly, check your hoses, make sure there's no cracks or bulges in them, and you can check all your fluid levels like your coolant. And most cars it's a sealed system. You don't want to open your cap because that's going to be pressurized and hot coolant could come out and splash you. But most have some sort of level indicator like this one here, which just could use a little coolant, bring it up to level. There's your power steering. That doesn't have a dipstick, it has a level indicator on the side. Make sure your brake fluid is full, and that's also in a clear reservoir. So you can see that's full. And those are some basic checks to do while you have your hood open on your car. Okay, something else you might want to check is your transmission fluid level. And 964 Thunderbird 4.6. It's located right here on the passenger side towards the firewall. And you want to make sure your engine is running and the car's on a level surface